Welcome to Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Treasure Talk.
3, 2, 1. Hey folks, Phil Myers here from Myers Metal Detectors in sunny Tampa, Florida. I can't tell if I'm on or not. Are we?
You should be. Oh, come on, piece of crap.
So are we hidden now, Jeff?
No, it's messed up.
I'm getting all kinds of people saying stuff.
Okay, folks, we're trying to get some technical difficulties worked out, so. I don't know. Try to sign back in.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Aren't I in, Jeff?
I don't think
I don't see you.
a bunch
Okay.
of other people are.
All right.
Joe Busy's watching.
Okay, well, I guess I don't know. We're going to work. Okay. I still don't see on there you go.
Hey folks.
And Steve's not here yet, so.
So should we go ahead and get started here, Jeff?
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, we're live now? Okay, folks. Phil Myers here from Myers Metal Detectors. And boy, that was a crazy start, wasn't it? Nothing like a Monday evening to get started with Treasure Talk. And today our guest is Steve Moore from Garrett. And hopefully he's going to get signed in here shortly. But we'll go ahead and get started without him. You ready, Jeff?
Yep, I'm ready. So let's see, what happens here if Steve gets in.
Yeah, we sent him the invite, so we're just waiting for him. He does.
They can't see you.
Yeah, we're waiting on him.
Hey, no Phil. It's a bunch of people saying it.
Hey, Jeff, am I live on there? Because people are saying they can't see me.
I don't have a clue. I see you, so.
So let me, I will go to Facebook and take a look at it myself and make sure. But
they're saying no Phil, see Jeff.
Okay, yeah, there I am. I'm on there. Unless, yeah, it looks like we're there right now.
They can hear you.
They can hear me, but they can't.
Yeah, I see you.
Okay, I got my thumb up. If I see my thumb come through on Facebook, it's a.
Do it. I'll see if I see you.
It's a delay.
Yeah, you're on. I can see it. I got it up on my phone.
Okay, awesome. Well, anyway, folks, Steve Moore should be signing here shortly. We're just having a crazy start.
Did you just wipe your nose?
No.
Oh, that's what I saw. Oh, there's the thumb.
So we do have I know he's donated a set of headphones and also a real cool Garrett hat. And hopefully you entered that already on the Facebook page. And we should be live on YouTube
the Z-Link.
also. Yeah, the Z-Link headphones and the cap. But I still don't see Steve, but
I'm going to messenger him.
They can see.
I don't know what his problem is.
Hear you as well as Jeff.
They can't hear me as well as Jeff.
That's from Joe Fiore.
I will just talk a little louder.
Say thank you, Joe.
Anyway, thank you, Joe.
That's right.
I'm here. I'll just talk louder so people can hear me. Nothing like technical difficulties. But So you sent Steve.
Oh my God! Erwin said by after 3 months you should have it figured out.
Hey, nothing.
Well, that's exactly what we need is all these backseat quarterbacks.
Yes, nothing. The internet changes every day, and quit laughing, Josh. I don't want nobody laughing at me.
Well, Erwin's funny.
Yeah, some of the
Irvin.
people. Irvin's very funny. Thank you, Irvin. Appreciate it, buddy. Anyway, today's show is brought to you by your friends at Myers Metal Detectors, where we not only sell fun, but we sell adventure. How about that? And the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Treasure Talk guests and members belong solely to the guest or the member, and not necessarily to Myers Metal Detectors, Phil Myers, Jeff Monin, or Jocelyn Myers. Just give you the heads up there. And where is our lovely guest?
I don't know. I'm going to send it again.
He's out there in the internet
In
twilight zone.
La La Land or something.
Yes, but
You might want to say who he is.
his name is Steve Moore, and he's a author, and he's also, I think, the marketing director for Garrett Metal Detectors, located in Texas. And they are going to be talking about their Garrett Apex and also about what else are they talking about? Anything Garrett related? And
Maybe
hopefully we can.
nothing if you don't
Yeah,
know.
we can talk about whites and all that good
Oh
stuff.
yeah, we
So
can quiz them on the Whites acquisition
Yeah.
to see what's going on with that. But
yeah. Did you get all the questions printed out?
yes, I did, and I got a few of my own too. So yes, we got a bunch of questions for him. So we're just waiting for him to sign in, and I'll just ramble on about Myers Metal Detectors until he jumps in here. If you're looking for
That'll
Garrett,
work.
Yeah,
Oh,
if you're-
did you want me to do the question?
if you're looking for, yes, you got to write the new questions down. I've got the ones I printed down. But if you're looking for a Garrett product, feel free to give me a ring tomorrow. I'll be there Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday this week. And let's see what else is going on here.
Somebody's saying White's acquisition. I don't know.
No,
I
that, I
don't
was,
know, but,
One of the guests.
do we
They
have?
might not know.
Did I hear Steve signing in? No.
no, I haven't seen him.
Joe Fiore said White's acquisition, like they don't know about it.
Yeah, well, for you guys who don't know, what Garrett has taken over or bought White's Metal Detectors, and hopefully we'll be able to quiz Steve a little bit about that because they were.
You get there.
Yeah, it'll happen. I have faith,
And yeah, I have faith.
and well, I'll just keep rambling until you get him in. Anyway,
Yeah,
guys,
well,
don't
you got
forget.
something to wet your whistle?
You know, oh yeah, do that.
Don't forget to stop in the shop, guys, and pick up a 2021 wall calendar. We have them in stock. Or if you purchase anything, you're going to get one of those, whether you want it or not. We're going to throw it in a box, and it's going to come your way. And it's got a load of Florida beaches on it. And also, you're going to get a Treasure Talk decal, whether you want it or not.
Mhm.
It's going to be in the box. And you might even get a Myers Metal Detector decal. And I'll just put my hat on since I'm ready for Christmas now. And we're doing Christmas orders for sure, getting everything out. A lot of specials going on. So feel free to give me a ring.
Get all your books and everything and stocking stuffers.
Yes, absolutely. We've got pinpointers, got Garrett Pro Pointer AT. That seems to be the most popular one.
And now we have Santa.
And I'm the Santa.
Yeah.
Anyway, folks, I don't know what happened with my buddy Steve.
I don't know. I'm trying to get a hold of him.
Oh, Ray Hill said, "Can't you call him on the phone?"
Yeah, we're contacting him on the phone to see what's happening. Maybe he's got poor internet like we had a few minutes ago, but
Who knows?
just
Well, he was supposed to have brought his Garrett laptop home and he forgot it.
oh,
So I had to send it to another one. I don't know what.
he can sign on his iPhone if he's got an iPhone.
Yeah.
Call him.
Yeah, we're
I don't know.
contacting him right now, folks. But he is giving away, like I said, the headphones, the Z-Link headphones, which are really nice, and also the Garrett hat.
Hey,
So
Pat's getting a piece of pumpkin pie thanks to you guys. Not
Pat's
having him on there. Pat Alexander.
getting pumpkin pie.
Yeah, pumpkin pie.
Yeah, yeah. Some of the folks, yeah, take a break.
She said,
Get your
"Boo
pumpkin.
you."
Get your pumpkin pie. I don't eat pumpkin pie, but
Yeah, you know, but don't eat in front of us.
anyway, folks, let's just
Joe and I, because Steve's not here.
we can get some housekeeping stuff out of the way, Jeff. We've got next week. We've got Mind Lab, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And they are giving away 5 of the new Mind Lab camo long sleeve shirts and the new Mind Lab camo Mind Lab hat. So we're giving away 5 of those. It'll be with the head engineer of Mind Lab now. He's worked on everything, but he was the head engineer on the Equinox, and then on Vanquish, he's worked on the CTX and all the other Mind Labs. So if you got questions, you find them on the page and get it.
Write it down so we can
Adam Larrabee asked Erwin, where do you buy your detectors from?
Well,
I
he has.
think you can answer that.
Yeah, he always has to buy his detectors from Myers Metal Detectors.
Here comes Steveroo.
We got Steve.
Hello, Stevie.
How are you?
Hey, brother.
Oh, it's been you know, one of those nights.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were just chit chatting, you know, trying to get stuff going.
Okay, I thought we had like an hour to go still, so I'm off on my time.
Oh,
Yep.
well, there you go. That's what it was. The wrong time.
Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
We're glad you're on here, and we're just going to get started. For you folks who don't know, I'm Phil Myers from Myers Metal Detectors, and of course Jeff is above me, and Steve Moore from Garrett Metal Detectors is on here with us today, and we're going to be talking about the Apex, talking about a lot of different things happening with Garrett. Of course, their acquisition of White's Metal Detectors, and just a bunch of everything. You want to get started, Jeff? Jump in, buddy.
Yeah. Well, Steve, we're glad to have you with us. I know it's an exciting time for you with the new Apex. You're killing it with that Apex, man. I've been watching some of the videos and seeing some of your finds, and you're finding way too much. You're not leaving nothing for us, man.
I don't know, not enough here
You
lately.
know?
I'm ready to get outside and start doing some more digging here pretty soon.
Well, you had to eat turkey and stuff this last week, you know. It was one of those weeks. But as I understand it, the Apex is going real well. It's and we got a lot of questions. I think I did succeed in emailing you some questions, and so we'll kind of get started on it right now. I had a couple of questions about the Apex. You got any new other coils, like any high frequency coils in the works for the Apex or the AT line?
Yeah, with the Apex, we just released the 5x8, which we're calling the Ripper. And we have the 8.5 11 double D, which is called the Raider. So you've got more coverage, more depth, good target ID on deep targets on the Raider. So I've got to test both of those out a little bit. Had some pretty good luck with them. We obviously have some more things in development, but at this point we haven't released anything new besides those first 2 additional coils, you know, just a few weeks back on those. And so far they're going over pretty well.
Uh-huh.
Well, I've got some questions here too.
Well, good. That's good. I think
IB Neal is asking me, will there be a smaller coil like the hockey puck style, the 5-inch or 4-inch coil made for that Apex line?
Don't have it in the works at this time, but, you know, we're kind of looking at what people want. So that's definitely one I know that people that want to hunt the house sites and do prospecting and sniping will have interest in. So I think there's potential for that down the road.
Yeah. I use a real small coil on my detector, and if there's targets everywhere, it's really nice to be able to use that and dig between the targets and cherry picks
Right.
targets. So that's write it down, hand it to me. My wife is on the side here collecting questions too, because they go by so fast on Facebook. It's kind of hard for us to catch them.
Especially when you have somebody come in late like this, you have to do a lot of quick catch up work, don't we?
Oh, absolutely. So I got a lot of questions, and maybe you can enlighten us on it. Garrett's purchase of whites. Are you guys going to continue with their line, or are you just going to take and what's going on with that?
Yeah, so we were in talks with them for a good while. Mr. Garrett and Mr. White knew each other back in the day, and then of course the White's family continued on after the senior Ken White passed on. But we've been in contact, and that this last year was kind of tough on the company, so we came to an agreement to kind of step in and help out a little bit. We acquired the rights to some of their property, their intellectual property, some of their trademarks and patents. So we're still sorting through what we're going to do, what we're going to continue, but I think there'll be some products we may opt to keep going that have a good following. Some of the others will look at what the technology is and make some decisions there. I don't see us continuing the entire Whites line, but more just the ones that we have the most interest in and that our customer base has the most interest in. We did not acquire their manufacturing facilities in the Oregon out there, so we will not be running production and continuing to build all the machines. So being that Garrett already has a pretty full slate to begin with, we have to kind of pick and choose where we go. So we're still in the process of sorting some of that out as we kind of get through this year and the COVID and the holidays and all that great stuff. So it's just kind of bear with us. We'll sort it out here in the near future.
Awesome. Well, people ask me that all the time. So I know Garrett is, I guess you guys are the only American-made manufacturer now then of metal detector. Well, no, we have, what's the other one? First Texas is an American.
Yeah, you got First Texas down there that has several different product lines they put out. So we're the last two in the big game, if you call it that.
Right. Well, I know the COVID thing has been really bad. It's bad in my area in Florida in general, I guess. I guess it's bad out in Texas too, huh?
Yeah, it's been pretty rough. The numbers have been going up here the past few weeks, as I know they have in other places. I've got a daughter in Colorado, and she tells me that things are pretty tight around there. Restrictions ease up for a little bit, and then we get another surge, and we kind of have to lock down. At the office, we've been operating for the most part almost continuously. We had a brief little period where we had to work from home, and then some groups of us worked out of the house for a number of months. But we're back in there. You got to go in and take the temperature and fill out the paperwork every day and wear the mask and keep your social distancing. And we do a lot more Zoom meetings than I ever thought I'd do a year ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
You do what you can to keep things safe,
Absolutely. That's what we do at the shop. We just, social distance, wear a mask, and we're staying safe. That's all we can do. So, Jeff, you want to jump in here anytime, buddy?
Well, we're looking at you got the Apex out. Anything happening along with the AT line? Along that line, or waterproofing the Apex?
Yeah, I think as far as upcoming product development, we've got a lot of ideas in the pipeline. On top of looking at the Whites lineup. Nothing to announce here tonight on anything that maybe around the corner, but we've heard from many people. Obviously, the salt mode on the Apex is tremendous. Does a great job of really cutting out the chatter that you might hear on other machines. So taking that kind of concept into a fully waterproof or submersible package has certainly been one of the big things we've heard about. So that's definitely got our attention. Just across the board, I think we have to look at all of our product lines going forward. We've had some in the line for a while. There's some that probably need some upgrades. maybe some new accessories along the way. But yeah, definitely a multi-frequency waterproof package has been a big, thing we've heard through customer service and, through all the fans that we've got out there.
Yeah, absolutely. For us here in Florida, that's nice. The reviews I've heard from people who are using the Apex love it. They just wish it was completely waterproof, so they didn't have to worry about it, drop it in the water. But it runs real nice on the salt and it goes deep. And they said it goes deeper to another very popular detector. So,
yeah, I'm right there with you. In fact, I might know a guy that's maybe dropped his in the water and submerged it accidentally and had to run back to the car and dry it out real quick. But we won't talk about him,
absolutely. And
It didn't work for Garrett, did he?
Yeah, he's got a little advantage. He can probably get it fixed if he had to, but pays to be wise and not put yourself in that position in the first place. But I've never been known to be too wise.
Well, we get excited sometimes when we're out there.
Oh yeah.
And start stuttering and stammering and carrying on, especially if you find one of those, those Modelo bottle caps in the sand. It looks like a gold ring. So then,
Or you find the gold ring and you lay everything down and forget what you're doing and look down and go, uh-oh, that's not good.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So-
yeah, that's for sure. Well, we sure appreciate.
I'm going down my
Go
list
ahead,
of questions here, so I'm gonna jump right in. Shane Sims is asking about his Sea Hunter Mark II. Is there going to be a upgrade to that one in any time soon?
Yeah, kind of what I was alluding to. We've got a lot of things like that are, a couple of them like the Sea Hunter, great machine, but yeah, it's a little bit long in the tooth. It's in need of a overhaul or refresh, and we look at all that. So we have product talks, and certainly that's one I'd love to see upgraded. I've been a scuba diver for, I don't know, 35 years or so. So I'd love to see something different, something refreshed. Don't have any news immediately on that, but certainly something we're aware of that there's a following out there. It has steady sales every year, always has. So
Yeah.
that talks about the market that's out there and the number of people that actually do go, beyond 10, 12, 15 feet deep. And we know they're out there. So bear with us, and that'll be on the list at some point down the road.
Yeah, I think that detector at that price point, you can't beat it, because it's completely submersible. You can dive with it. Yeah, it's a PI, so you're going to dig some more iron stuff, but people just love that price point. I don't think you can beat it. So I guess an upgrade to it might drive the price up a little bit, but still, I don't think there's anything in that point that would beat it.
Yeah, it's always had a good price point for sure, and that's probably what keeps it as a good seller. And just the fact that there's probably more people in the past 10 years really getting into the water than there were, 20, 30 years ago. It's a whole other world there. And, the deeper you can go, it opens up some doors out there, people doing the shallow shipwrecks and things like that. Lots of cool sites out there.
Absolutely. Hey, I just had a question on there. They were talking about the AT housing. And have you guys thought about doing like a carbon fiber? I know I've saw a lot of carbon fiber shafts from other manufacturers and of different housing set up on it.
Yeah, I mean, we've got some friends that are in the aftermarket business that put out some of those straight shafts and carbon fiber, and certainly very popular. I've tried some of those out and used them, and there's definitely a place to bring those in. We've got a lot of following that likes the S-stem curve on there, so that's remained popular. But I think everything's open going down the road to look at different technologies, more compactness, different kinds of shafts. So we're aware we need to get in there and put some upgrades out there as we go down the road. So definitely a great idea.
Yeah, and Timothy Lacus is asking me, does Garrett fix the old Sea Hunters?
We'll repair, any Garrett that we can, as long as we've got parts for it. So, if you contact our customer service department, they'll let you know based on what year yours is, if it has any obsolete part. But for the most part, I think we have everything we need to do to make repairs on any of the Sea Hunters. So I'd recommend talking to somebody smarter than me in our customer service department, and they can definitely steer that person in the right direction.
Absolutely, and they're easy to deal with. So Garrett's got a good customer service department. Hey, I want to switch gears here for a second, if you don't mind, Jeff. I was watching TV the other night, and you were on the channel, Steve, with one of the military channels. I guess you were doing the speaker on it, and I was walking by, and I heard you talking, and I recognized your voice, and I turned around. I said, "I know that guy." So I thought that was kind of cool. So you've written quite a few books then.
Yeah, let's see. That one was on Nat Geo channel. There's a series on the World War II submarines and the
Yes,
warfare.
that's what it
And
was.
one of the books I did years ago was on one of the famous subs where the skipper earned the Medal of Honor for this one particularly aggressive nighttime attack on the surface. And they asked me to come in and do a talk about that, along with a couple other military historians. And frankly, I'd forgotten all about that because that was about a year ago, long before the COVID hit. They had me go up to Washington, D.C. and spent the day doing some filming and answering questions. And it just kind of went away. And then all of a sudden I got a text saying, "Hey, the show's going to be on next week," and kind of caught me out of the blue, kind of by surprise.
Yeah, it was a very interesting show. How long? Well, let me ask you this: when did you write your first book?
Oh gosh, I think the first one was published 1996. So, going on 25 years, I guess I've been doing this.
Okay.
I
And
was always into writing as a kid and high school and college and all that, and just didn't want to work for the newspaper business. So I got into advertising and marketing, but I've always just enjoyed writing and kind of kept that up as a hobby on the side. And having the ability to meet and interview some really interesting veterans from many different types of wars, that's always kind of intrigued me. And in some cases, getting to tell a story they've never even told their kids, their family. This stuff's going to be gone in a matter of years. The people I'm interviewing this year, World War II veterans, I've got guys I'm talking to from 97 to like 102 years old. So if I wait another 2 or 3 years, that they're simply not going to be around, So I guess that's what drives me to do some of that.
yeah, it's very interesting. I like watching that channel on TV. I think my wife gets sick of me watching the World War II documentaries, but I really enjoy the history part of it. That's kind of the thing with metal detecting. We're digging history every day. So I just was fascinated by that. And then you've also wrote 2 books on metal detecting. I guess Relic Quest and the European metal detecting.
Yeah, did the Relic Quest, and then also did another one, The Last Stand of the Texas Cherokees, which was more early Texas history and some of the Indian Wars. But we actually went in and did some metal detecting on the site and recovered a bunch of artifacts. So it was more of a history book, but it brought in metal detecting at the end. And for me, that's always been a fascination. Not what you dig, but what's the history of what you find there? Oh, it's just a musket ball. Well, no, there's more of a story to it if you can find out the battle and the soldiers and what they lost, the buttons, the coins and stuff of that era. So, yeah, it's kind of fun to bring the metal detecting and my love for history together at the same time. And fortunately, when Mr. Garrett was alive, he always encouraged that. He always encouraged us to get out, get in the field, get around the people, talk to them, find out what they like to do, and go search for history, because he did a lot of writing himself, and he loved finding artifacts the same way I love to find them.
Absolutely. I just thought that was cool seeing you on the show there. Well, let me get back to some questions here. Has Garrett planned anything for any events for 2021?
Yeah, we've got the Charles Garrett Memorial Hunt coming up. We unfortunately had to postpone it this year. I mean, we were like 2 weeks away from getting that thing pulled off, and that was back in March when all the COVID really started getting rampant. So we had to postpone it, kind of work with the county and the city ordinances and push it back. And we could just tell this fall was not going to work. So we have it scheduled now for April. I believe the third week of April, somewhere around the 18th or so. It's up on our website. And we've got a lot of folks signed up. In fact, we just kind of closed it down again today because we kind of got to the numbers we want to keep it to based on the, keeping it safe and everything else. All I can say is, fingers crossed that things improve. We'd love to have it, come together and have a great hunt like we've had in the past, a night hunt, a kids hunt, a massive silver hunt, a big relic hunt on Saturday. But I'm hopeful. I'm watching what's going on with the government and with these pharmaceutical companies. Hopefully we'll get these vaccines kicking in the next month or two and start making a difference so we can have these social gatherings. This year, frankly, I've almost traveled next to nothing, which is crazy because trade shows and rallies and major field events, that's a big thing for Garrett.
Right.
It's become, more of this, people getting together virtually and talking and, doing these kind of things. Unfortunately, don't get me wrong, I'm glad you guys do this, but I'd love to see hundreds of people out in the field having a big event in the spring if we can make it happen.
Yes, absolutely. How many people are you going to have at the hunt there?
Well, the past 3 of them we've been somewhere the 400 to 500 hunters plus, kids and families that show up, and we'll keep it somewhere in that kind of realm again.
Okay.
Just based on, we could get 1,000 people in there, but it just becomes overwhelming and people are running into each other. So probably somewhere under 500 would be where we cap it off.
Well, I hope that it takes place because it's getting to the point of being a little depressing now and not being able to do things. So
yeah, I know some of the clubs, are still able to get together in small numbers and, careful restrictions and do some of the fun hunts. But, the big ones by and large have gone to the wayside. I know Digging in Virginia pulled theirs off here recently. And I think the Sunday they finished, their county put in brand new restrictions that would have forbid more than 20 people gathering. So it's hit or miss right now. And, I'm not going to knock it because there's a lot of people sick and we need to be safe. But man, I'm hopeful we can get this thing turned around before too long.
all righty. Well, Jeff, did you want to jump in? I don't want to hog all the time, buddy.
Well, we've got one of our listeners, one of our members has just extended an invite to you, Steve, to go to Florida Hunt 7. It's right here in Florida. It'll be towards the end of February, and you could make or break that hunt with showing up. So the invite is there. I'll get with him, and I'll give him your work email, and he can send you an invite.
Sounds good. Well, I might break it, but I'm not opposed to trying to show up there. So we'll just check the dates and see what's going on.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. So, are you guys taking a lot of the white technology and trying to integrate it in some of the Garrett product, or you got visions of a new, for want of a better word, like a combo machine with got some whites and some Garrett in it?
Yeah, kind of like I was saying earlier, we're still analyzing, going through a lot of that stuff. There's probably 1 or 2 for sure we'll continue. And then some of their better technology, we're going to analyze that. And, we've gotten our hands on most of the whites machines to play around with them and get familiar with them and learn them. I've run a few of them over the years, but I don't know all of them. So I've got a couple at my desk. Even one of their pulse machines. Need to get out and spend a little time with them and get familiar with it. But don't have an immediate answer on that. But certainly the doors are open to looking at what's there and deciding, is it a hybrid Garrett whites or, I think all things are possible as we go forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it was a good thing. I think everybody was very pleased when they were shocked, number one, when the Whites made the announcement, but then they were very, very pleased when Garrett made the announcement of the acquisition, because they know, that it's in good hands with Garrett, a good American company. Because it's like Phil was saying, there's only two of you left that are made in America.
Yeah, and we wanted to keep that legacy alive with Whites and make sure it stays made in America, whatever form or fashion that might be. We kind of shuddered to think that some other overseas snap it up and just start producing junk, and that's not good for their legacy or their name. So we'll try to do the right thing and be mindful of the many Whites loyal fans that are out there over the years, and try to let it be a good note the way it goes forward.
Already mentioned it.
Yeah, well, that's what Garrett's reputation has always been, for quality. Charles Garrett in his mind, and I'm sure that he said, if you're going to do something, do it the right way. We're not going to do anything halfway. We may not have a lot of manufacturers, but the ones we've got out are good machines, and that's always been the case. So I'm glad that you guys are taking over the Whites stuff.
Yeah, like you said, Mr. Garrett was always, methodical. Wasn't the fastest pace on putting out something new, but he did take time with it. He personally went out and tested all of his machines up to the point where he couldn't do that anymore. And certainly, we've got a big group of folks that continue that process. So we're not bent on, hey, we're going to get 3 new machines out this year. Come hell or high water. It'll be when it's right and when we feel good about it. And is it something people? And I think we did that with Apex this year. It's been well received. Lots of good finds coming in every month from folks out there, and still filling orders, getting them out the door, and getting those first accessory coils made. And then we'll take our time and look at what's next on the horizon. And when we do it, knock on wood, I think we'll do a good job of whatever we do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You don't want to kick it out too soon, because then you end up having customers unhappy. So
yeah, you've always got your things as you get out the door. You learn, hey, I could do a couple things here and there, make a few tweaks, but you want to, by and large, get it as right as you possibly can once you get it out there. So you do work with some people behind the scenes to do field testing. Myself and Rusty Curry and other folks that work there, Miguel Ardito, we get out and we put them through the paces pretty good. And we've got some trusted friends out there of Garrett that they'll run out there and put them through all kinds of tests, and you try to work them out as best you can. So
awesome. Hey, I've got
then
one
you've
question.
got a couple.
You okay, Jeff? I'm gonna jump in here if you don't mind. Hey,
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Roy Harold is asking, Steve, do you have experience with the AT Max on the beach?
Yeah, I've used the AT Max pretty well anywhere you can. I think the Apex has a quieter salt mode on it, but with the Max, where a lot of times I go like once a year to Florida, and those beaches where I go, it's fairly tame. The mineralization and the salt content's not that bad, so that the average ground balance will calm it down pretty good. If you get in the wash, you got to ground balance again, or if you get out, chest deep, you got to check it again. You can always put in a little discrim if you need to, or go to a coins mode, but I don't like doing that because I know some of those rings are going to be right there in those notches.
Right.
So I've used it quite a bit, but I did play around this March with one of the early Apexes out in salt. Did pretty good with that. I found it to be super, super quiet. Of course, with a machine like that, you're going to get to a beach somewhere that's going to have magnetic black sand on top of high concentrations of salt. It's going to be challenging to the point where, a pulse is always going to do a little bit better in that salt water. But I was real impressed with how well that, my testing went in the salt water with the Apex. But on your question on the Max, yeah, I've used it a fair amount in the salt water, and I've found some good stuff with it.
Yeah, because he's asking the best settings. Tell him how to use that one if you could, real quick.
If you're super challenged, you can go to a coins mode or something like that, and that's going to notch out some of the foil and pull tabs in there. It's also going to knock the salt down quite a bit. but you're going to have some punishment on a few of the little targets, you know, some of the small jewelry and things like that. So I try not to go there if I can help it. I'll put in a little bit of discrim, you know, 20 or something like that, which is still not going to be in the salt range, but just to get to where I'm hearing coins well. If I need to, I'll, you know, notch back maybe one notch off the sensitivity. I'm the type, I'll try to always run a machine full out because I know that last bar on there is going to get another, you know, 10, 15% more depth or more sensitivity. The punishment might be a little bit of chatterness, you know, chattery performance in the really washy salt. But when you hit a target, you can hear the target over a little bit of chatter. And yeah, that's why I did like the Apex, because it was super quiet to the point where I was like rubbing it against my shovel or my scoop to make sure it was even still turned on.
Yeah. Well, I notice on the Max compared to the AT Pro, I think the Max, you can turn it down a couple more bars and still get unbelievable depth. I think it runs hotter than the AT Pro. Don't you feel that?
It does. I mean, you have a different audio package in the Max. You've also got the true all metal mode. So if you know, even test targets on that in discrim mode, say 0 discrim, full sensitivity, and then kick it into the all metal mode, you'll see the difference, the little bit of extra depth you're getting there. You know, some of that's just the deep targets, just a few little blips or a few little squeaks, but you know, the proportional sound, that extra inch or two that you get there, you know, can make the difference in a really good deep target. So yeah, you will get more depth on a Max than you will a Pro if you're using the same size coils, you know, for fair comparison.
Yeah. And on the beach, I think the Max is easier to use on the salt beach than the AT Pro. Would you agree with that?
I hear different reports. I mean, a lot of people really love the different audio package that comes with the Pro. So there's some that, you know, tell me they love that over the Max. Some say they like it in the saltwater better than the Max. Some of it comes down to preference. The Max by nature is, I guess, a little more hotter machine. It's more sensitive. So you get a little more chatter. You pick up more of the ground mineralization and the variations. The Pro's probably a little bit smoother. So probably some people like that aspect of it. Like I said, if I'm out hunting a relic field, I'll rather deal with a little bit more ground response because it's super sensitive versus taking it down a couple notches. It comes into personal preference on that.
Okay, and then I have a related question. Is Pro Zero on the AT Pro? Oh, this is going too quick. Pro Zero with no discrimination on the AT Pro, a true all metal mode?
No, it's not a true all metal mode. That's why you have to go to AT Gold or AT Max to get the true all metal mode, where there's 0 discrimination. You know, everything's in play there, and it gives you just a little more sensitivity, a little more depth. It's, you know, similar. You're discriminating no metal, but you know, going back to the old school machines where you have the true all metal mode, that's going to be the most sensitive there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I just saw that Mark Hoover said he likes the AT Pro sounds better than the AT Max, but I know the AT Max myself, I know is a deeper detector. But yeah, if you get used to, that's the trouble with detectors. You get used to one detector and then you change to another one and you got to learn it all over again. It just takes a while. But that's what I tell people. There's a little learning curve, but once you learn it, you'll know it. And I know the Apex is nice and smooth, so it's a total different animal, and the sounds are a little different, but it's nice and smooth on the salt. So if somebody doesn't need to, if just hunting wet sand here in Florida, like if you're on the East Coast, that's a perfect detector for you, where you're not going in the water, because it goes deep, and the sounds are, you'll hear deep targets, and it's nice and smooth. So I think you hit a home run with that one, with the Apex.
Yeah, and it has a different tone ID package. You've got 5 tones on it, so that takes a little getting used to if you've been running a AT Pro or AT Gold or something like that for a while. But I like that you've got a little more variance in there, and when you play around with the iron audio, you can adjust the second, first tones and move the break to a different point. So everything above 20 or 25 or whatever, you adjust that second tone break. So folks that get into that's a neat little thing to play with. With the iron audio, you push that in, and everything below your point of discrimination becomes the iron sound. So I can run it up really high and have a lot of iron sound to check targets, or I can run it all the way down to 0 and kick in the iron audio and basically have no iron sounds. It just extends the second tone all the way down to 0. So the geeks that want to play around with that stuff, it gives you a few little bells and whistles to play with there.
Well, the AT Pro
Yeah, that you said called them geeks who do that. There's not, it's amazing. There's not that many people who get in there and do that, change that around. They'll just hunt in the factory preset and just go with it and get the job done. But if you want to fine tune it, you can get in there and do it. Hey, I just had another question that my wife had handed me, and I know the answer to this, but I'll ask you anyway. The AT Pro coils, they'll all work on the AT Max and vice versa, correct?
Yeah, all the AT coils, the Pro, the Max, and the Gold, all the coils are interchangeable. As you get into the Apex, they are not. So even though it's an Ace Apex by name, Ace coils don't work on it. The other way around, Apex coils won't work on ATs or Aces. They're engineered completely different. They've of course got the multi-frequency. So when you get into that multi-flex technology, it's a different animal with the gamut of the range of the frequencies that come into play on the multi-frequency. Those other machines just aren't made to handle that type of coil, and vice versa.
Absolutely. So all your Apex coils are going to be specific to the Apex, and all your AT series, AT Pro, Gold, and Max will be for those. And then the Ace series will have their own set of coils.
Right. So, if you've got the old hockey puck on the Ace 250 or whatever, unfortunately, it's not going to work on the Apex. But, whatever we choose to continue coming out with other coils, they'll be made for that lineup.
Absolutely. Well, that's awesome. So, Jeff, are we getting ready for the prize drawing?
Yes, we are. As everybody knows, we've had a lot of people sign up for it. Steve and Garrett were nice enough to give us a Z-Link outfit. And while we're going to draw the name here, then you'll have 3 minutes, as the rules state, to either text or Facebook Messenger Phil, and got his number up there. I'll turn my phone back on so you can do either text or Facebook Messenger me, and I'm going to draw the name right now, and then I'll announce it. So let me go in and draw that name. Okay, the winner, and they got 3 minutes to text or Facebook Messenger, either Phil or myself, is Monique Laporte Haggis. If she is in the house, have to be tuned in to win. She gets the Z-Link. So while we're waiting for her, Steve, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Z-Link?
Yeah, well, the Z-Link technology on this, you can make your detector wireless, and it's not limited to Garrett brand. We've got all kinds of accessories where you can hook it up to the shaft on your detector, plug it in, get yourself some wireless headphones. If you're running Apex or AT Max, of course, you can make your pinpointer wireless as well. So, those two have the built-in Z-Link system. But for other machines, whether it's the Ace 300 or AT Pro, you can get rid of the cords. And for somebody like me that does a lot of woods digging, climbing through barbed wire fences, going through the briars and all that, I've had so many headphones ripped off my head by those cords dangling back there. For me, it's the only way to go is to be wireless. I can set the machine down, walk away, work on digging a target. It just gives you complete freedom. And our wireless technology is faster than the others. So you're hearing no delay as your coil goes past the target. It's just dead on, nearly zero delay, kind of hence the name Z-Link coming into play there. So hopefully Monique is contacting you, and she'll be enjoying that before long.
Yes, she
Well,
has.
so
She got it. Jeff, she won.
yeah.
Yes, she did. She texted me.
All
And,
righty.
she Facebook messaged me. I have them at the shop, Monique. So if you want to stop in and pick them up, you can do that. Or if you send your address on the same way, I guess you did it on Facebook, we'll get them mailed out to you. So thank you, Steve, for doing that.
That's a killer prize.
Yes, it is, because I use a set of those on my whites. I've got an old whites detector that I kind of had forever, and I just like it. I just know the tones, the sounds. I know everything about it, and that was the one thing it didn't have was wireless headphones, and that just works awesome. And there's no feeling like being untethered to your detector.
Well, best of luck with that. Hope you have many years of good luck finding a lot of good stuff going wireless.
Yes, going wireless is the best way to go. So
And with your Garrett Apex hat too.
yeah, for sure. So let's keep going here. Did we have some more questions come through?
I haven't seen anyone.
Okay, well, let me
Oh,
go.
let's see. I saw a couple come, but I'm trying to go back through them.
Give me that phone, hon. Yeah,
I don't know. I can't say go by too fast for me. I'm old. So
Yeah, me too. The time
yeah, right,
goes
Phil. We got
so
clothes
fast. So
over here.
I did have a couple questions about two things. The hunts that are coming up. Now you said the Garrett one is shut down now. Did you say that?
Yeah, the Garrett Memorial Hunt is going to be in April 2021. We had to push it back this year a couple times. All the details are on our website, and if there are any more openings, we'll announce them later. I mean, right now we've kind of closed it up because we have so many people that have put in their applications for it. As far as other hunts, we normally go hit a lot of the big events that go on. I know there's a few in the spring, right around that same time, March, April. The DIV number 50 is coming up. Some of us will probably represent at that. There's Detective Fest, I know, is being planned. I don't know if they're 100% going forward full steam. Everybody's kind of watching what's going to happen this month or two. But I know there's talks of several biggies that'll hopefully happen and go forward. I'd love to see 2021 start getting in the books, where we can get out there and have these large events, but, do it in a safe, responsible manner. We'd normally go overseas and hit some of the big events there, but I know there's a few biggies planned in America, and, maybe in the next couple of months, things will start to, improve for us. That's what we have to hope and pray for.
Absolutely. Hey, and I didn't realize this, but Mark Hoover has wrote this on the board here. Speaking of temperature checks, how is Garrett doing with their new temperature check device? You guys have a temperature check device? I didn't know that.
Yeah, of course, we've got a full security and military division on top of doing the sport and the hobby detectors. So we have a smart scan device. So basically the large walk-through arches that you go through when you go to a football game or into any kind of major event. We've always been detecting metal, looking for guns and knives and contraband. But we now have an attachment up on the top with a camera on it that reads your body temperature. Basically, if you have no hat on, it reads your forehead, takes your temperature as you pass through. So simultaneous search for metal and for health check. And that's a new product, just getting going. We just announced it recently. We've got test units out in the field, and we're shipping some of those units this month. Going out one day this week to look at one of the local cities that's putting them in, and we'll probably take some video and photos of their installation. And then, of course, there's a little Garrett handheld thermometer that goes along with it, should they need to check the person that set off the alarm. But that's where we are in the world, is, safety, carefully trying to get people back into facilities. I went to a sporting event recently. It's kind of odd. I was very happy. I like sports. I was happy to be able to go to the stadium, but seeing 75% of the seats empty is kind of sad at the same time. So the more we can check people and get them in safely, and start responsibly getting back into the swing of things. Yeah, there's so many jobs that depend on the livelihood of not just bars and restaurants, but sporting events. Think of the people that serve the food and clean the stadiums and take the tickets, and just countless millions of jobs affected this year. So anything Garrett can do to not only keep people safe from weapons, but to safely get back into our normal routine, that's a whole nother side of our business. So yeah, off to a good start so far, and very well received.
Yeah, I can imagine if you're going into any type of building or government building or like you said, sport event, that would be a real nice thing to have on there to flag people who were sick and they might not even known it. Hey, Steve, I did have one question just roll through here that Jocelyn caught. They're asking where in Texas you live at.
I'm north of the Dallas area. I'm in Denton County. I'm in a town called Lantana. Anybody that knows this area, it's pretty close to the city of Denton, where the University of North Texas is located. I'm just a few minutes away from that. So our office is in Garland, which is kind of the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex. So I drive a little bit, but I like being a little bit out of the city.
Okay.
Don't really leave it, but I drive through 4 or 5 cities just getting to work. But Dallas itself's maybe 1 million people, but the metroplex is probably 20 million people with all the towns that just butt up against each other here.
Right. Absolutely. Well, that's cool to hear about your temperature check device. That's neat. Hey, Jeff, do you want to jump in anytime, buddy?
Yeah, we're just going to tell Steve he better get the memo out to KG and Ringy to lay off the beer. They're getting a little paunchy, especially if COVID goes away. You guys can travel again in 2021. I mean, they got to fit in the airplane seat. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, we did get in an event last month. We went up to New England, the best of the Northeast. I was a little bit scaled back in terms of total numbers, but had a great event out there. We put out a little video. I think everybody dug some silver. KG got a tremendous 2 real, probably best one I've ever seen as far as condition. I think we each got 1 or 2 copper coins, a bunch of relics and things like that. But man, I hear you about the COVID-20 and all that. I've laid around more this year than I've ever wanted to, and I put on a few. So I'm ready to get there and start exercising myself.
Well,
and then just a few weeks ago, I just had eye surgery. That set me back a little bit, getting some cataracts taken care of. So I did go out digging yesterday with my son. So that was the first time in several weeks, and I can bend them dig. And they were worried about eye strain for a few weeks there, but happy to report all went well. Looking forward to getting out again here in a couple of weeks, maybe doing a little relic dig. So trying to get things geared up. We just got a stretch of cool weather come in, so the spiders and the snakes and all the bad stuff are kind of going away for a while. And my favorite time to get in the woods,
Yeah. Well, I have to tune in on the 21st, our Christmas show. KG and Ringy are going to be the guests, so call in and give them some grief.
I'll have to do that.
Yeah, we're having a little temperature change here in Florida too, aren't we, Jeff?
Yeah.
We're going.
I think the high here in my area is going to be 51 tomorrow.
We're going to be 48 tonight, and then tomorrow night 43. So I'm going to get to put on a long sleeve shirt instead of a t-shirt when I go to work.
I'm ready for all this stuff to be over. I mean, on top of the COVID, so many hurricanes coming in, hitting the States. I know Louisiana caught probably worse than you guys did, but time to move on, get a fresh year going, get metal detecting back out in the fields and get active again.
Yeah, all the hurricanes did was give us more sand on the beaches.
Yep.
Absolutely. Hey, I got a couple quick questions before you go. One person, Glenn Young, was asking, did Garrett make World War II military metal detectors? Or that
did we make World War II military detectors?
Yes, metal detectors. For
Mr. Garrett used and tested a lot of those in his early days, but we didn't start until 1964. So we were not actively making them. Mr. Garrett served in the U.S. Navy right after World War II, and so he got into those, secondhand mine sweeping units and learned to detect with those. And that helped drive his desire to make a better metal detector, which, by the way, I should mention, his autobiography just came out. You can order it through Garrett, through your dealer. I think some of the dealers are just getting in their first copies. It's just simply called Garrett. It's got a picture of Mr. Garrett on the cover. But it's the story of a man and his quest to make a better metal detector. Some of his personal background growing up, going to the Navy, getting into business, starting a company with his wife, Eleanor, out of their garage. If you go to Amazon, you can click the book's up on there. I think they're getting their first shipments in pretty soon. A lot of photos, old historic, vintage photos of the family when they were young, and Mr. Garrett in his early days testing up through. He'd written most of this up before he passed a few years back, and Mrs. Garrett kind of worked on it, getting some more pictures together, and finally got around this year and said, all right, we're putting this thing out. And happy to report she did let us put it out this year, just a few weeks ago.
Awesome.
So that's some interesting background. You ask about World War II and early detectors and some of the company history. So, some of the longtime fans might, enjoy picking up a copy off Amazon or from their dealer.
Absolutely. Hopefully we'll get them too. But Jeff, I think we're getting close to the witching hour here. We're going to get thrown
We
out.
are. We're running a couple minutes over, but that's okay. Steve, I sure would love to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend some time with us. And we really thank you so much for that wonderful prize giveaway that you donated. And I know everybody was very, very anxious to hear what's going on with Garrett and the Apex and the AT line and everything that you guys have done with White. So we just can't thank you enough. And we hope that you continue to have great success with that. And we hope to have you back again soon. So thanks very, very much.
Yeah. And again, my apologies, had, laptop problem, and we had a little technical difficulty getting me hooked up, but you guys were able to get me on this other computer here. So apologize for those that were kept waiting for a few minutes there, but always a pleasure to be on. Great to talk to you guys. Go ahead and wish you a Merry Christmas early and Happy Holidays, and best of luck while you're hunting next year.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you, Jeff, for pulling this all together. And thank you, Jocelyn, for handing me the questions. And guys, have a Merry Christmas. And for anybody who needs anything detector related, just give me a ring tomorrow. I'll be in the shop early. So give me a call, 813-237-1939. And happy hunting, guys. And thank you.
Thanks, guys. We'll see y'all next week with Mind Lab.
All righty. Have a good one. Bye now.
Later.